Strategies of control. John Child, John Child discusses for control strategies as listed in Figure 4. Figure 4. Four strategies of control in organization. Each strategy will utilize one or more of the features listed. First, personal centralized control. First point, centralized decision making. Next, this is direct supervision. And next is personal leadership founded upon ownership of or charisma or technical expertise. Next is reward and punishment reinforce conformity to personal authority. Second is bureaucratic control. And first point is breaking down of tasks into easily definable elements. Next is formally specified methods, procedures, and rules applied for the conduct of task. And third is budgetary and standard cost variance according to control. Technology designed to limit variation in conduct of tasks with respect to piece, sequence, and possibly physical method. Next point is routine decision taking delegated within prescribed limits. And next point is reward and punishment system reinforce conformity to procedures and rules. Third, output control. And first of its points is job and units designed to be responsible for complete outputs. Next point is specification of outputs, standard and targets. Next point is use of responsibility accounting system. Next point is delegation of decisions and on operational matters, semi autonomy. And the next point is reward and punishment linked to attainment of output targets. And the fourth is cultural control. And first point of it is development of strong identification with management goals. Next point, several semi autonomous working, few formal controls. Next point is strong emphasis on this selection, training and development of personnel. Next point is rewards oriented towards security of tenure and career progression. A. Personal centralized control. Strategy is usually found in small owner managed enterprise. Control is centralized in a proprietor or chief executive who combines his rights of ownership with his unique personal qualities and expertise. Such a system rewards and punishment are based on more on loyalty to leader than competence. The system makes it easy to breed favorites, favoritism, and distorts feedback to so vital for control. B. Bureaucratic control. Strategy is the most common features in large organizations in both private and public sectors beside government. The main thrust of bureaucratic control strategy is to ensure predictability through the specific of how people in the organization shall behave the carry out their work. Formalization in the sense of written definition of jobs and procedures is the most characteristic features of the bureaucratic control strategy. Division of work in modern industrial organizations lends to itself to simplification and standardization. The focus in highly bureaucratic organizations is to seek compliance and keeping your nose clean. Rules then becomes more important than goals. Compliance result in job security and other benefits, and non-compliance leads to sanctions and punishments. The accounting control system are perhaps the best example of bureaucratic control strategy. One advantage of bureaucratic control strategy is that the delegation becomes easy in such system. Manager can be easily delegate without losing control over what is going on so long as such delegation occurs within formalized limits to discretion. C. Output control strategy is appropriate in case of activities where it is easy to identify tasks which are complete in themselves and their outcomes measurable in definite terms. Common criteria of achievement applied to individual or groups, product lines, and whole units respectively are quantity of item processed, value added, profitability, etc. Once output or criteria for overall achievement have been identified, it is possible for management to specify output standards and targets. Rewards and punishment system can be linked with the actual performance with a with standard and targets. Measurement is the most important activity in the job of a manager. It is also one of the weakest areas. Output control strategy becomes relatively difficult to apply in office jobs and where the relationship between effort and outcome is not easy to establish. In production jobs, on the other hand, output control is easy and effective. Once output standards are agreed upon mutually by the management and work group or individual work, it is easy to grant semi autonomy to the worker or work group and hold the worker or work group responsible for the output. Thus, output control strategy too, like bureaucratic control strategy, facilitates delegation and at the same time is free of the negation features of bureaucratic control. One major problem with output control strategy, however, is the possible resistance from work group for improving the methods of working normals, norms of output, etc. Thus, it can even stand in the way of introducing technological changes and introduction of improvements based on work study and work simplification. The other major and practical problem is related to establishing suitable and agreeable measures of output. D. Cultural control. Strategy refers to an approach of maintaining control by ensuring that members of an organization accept as legitimate and willingly comply with the managerial requirements. This requires strong professional identification and high degree of loyalty to the organization. To the extent that employees and subordinates in any organization accept management rights to give executive instructions, one may say that a degree of cultural control already exists. This is reinforced further through conscious effort to develop this pragmatic effort into a more enthusiastic support for management's purposes and organizational goals. As John Child says, cultural control combined with personal autonomy to follows strongly internalized norms of competence and conduct has long been the mark of the professionals. Recent administrative controls, they accept controls comparable with the mode of self control within agreed cultural parameters worked out through discussion and negotiations, experiments in autonomous work groups, quality circles, and quality of work life programs are examples in this direction. Cultural control fosters closer identification with organization and induces a high degree of motivations towards result oriented behavior.